Okay, troops, strap yourselves in. We've got a pretty insane video related to XRP lined up for you. We are going to start off, of course, with the return of Arthur Britto, who was one of the founders of XRP. In fact, as you can see, confirmed by David Schwartz here, Arthur's code was the code that essentially created the 100 billion XRP tokens, then called XNS. On June the 2nd, 2012, the birth date of XRP. Yes, this shows the code pushed but was obviously used. GitHub's history that shows how many times we contributed to and executed every day. And this, of course, was brought about by Arthur, who up until literally 23 hours ago had been silent for a grand total of 5,890 days. So that is insane in regards to how long this individual has been silent for. And then all of a sudden yesterday, tweets a face with no mouth. And this is David, the chief technical officer of Ripple, essentially confirming that this indeed is Arthur's account. I can confirm this was not a hack or compromise. What the hell is going on? That's the first part of the video that we have for you. We're going to look at that in a little bit more detail, show you some related things. Of course, Arthur was the one that predicted the possibility of a $10,000 XRP price, which isn't my prediction. We've got $19.27. Once we get there, that'll be an insane return for me. I can see a lot of scope for it going significantly higher. And yes, that price prediction still stands, by the way, regardless of any geopolitical economic events taking place. That's a pattern that's now triggered for us. And XRP, I mean, we're still 300% up on XRP. I don't quite share retail sentiment towards the crypto space right now because we're still not doing too badly at all. And certainly if we're even right on a fraction of what's to come, you know, we're not worried in the slightest. So we're going to start on there, and then we're going to look at a paper that was published literally a day ago that nobody's covering yet, and that's from the European Central Bank, and it's titled "The Eurosystems Exploratory Work on New Technologies for Wholesale Central Bank Money Settlements." And it literally specifically on page 11 and 12 mentions XRP and the use of XRP. Node sends asset amount from issuer operational wallets to create escrow wallets, which use XRP payment transactions. Mentions this in a number of occasions. This was done in collaborative sessions with the Banque de France, which of course are big fans of Ripple and have used Ripple systems and have worked with them, which we'll show you. And then we'll also highlight Christine Lagarde. Once again, we've played this clip a million times talking about Ripple and Circle's dominating role in the world that is ahead of us. So we've got a lot to get into, guys. Let's start things off. This, of course, is from Arthur Britto. Now, he literally hasn't posted since he made his account. This is an example today on the 23rd of June. It's the 24th today. The day Arthur Britto broke his silence marks exactly 5,890 days since May the 8th, 2009. Very interesting. But Arthur has returned, allegedly confirmed by David Schwartz. And he was indeed one of the individuals that essentially founded XRP. There have been some questions floating about the origins of the XRP ledger. When XRP was created, let's help to clear those up. I worked with Arthur Britto and Jed McCaleb starting in late 2011. We co-created the XRP ledger. Here is my first code commits from November the 11th. And of course, he's highlighting Arthur's on the 2nd of June, 2012. So this guy is a big deal. He's also previously been quoted as saying, I believe XRP or Ripple will eventually support bonds and bond markets. He's also an individual that's made predictions such as Ripple co-founder Arthur Britto, who believes XRP is designed for a price of $10,000. Brito emphasizes the importance of global scalability to accommodate the world's population of 7.5 billion people. XRP's potential at $10,000 reflects its ambitious goals and market aspirations. Ripple Labs co-founder Arthur Brito has expressed his belief that XRP, the digital asset associated with Ripple, is designed with the goal of reaching a price of $10,000. Brito emphasizes the importance of scalability in achieving this target, stating that XRP must be capable of accommodating the entire global population of 7.5 billion people. Why has he turned up now? I think everybody is asking. Well, I don't have those answers for you. We're very bullish on XRP. We're also very much some of the few people that can link traditional markets with the crypto markets, and more broadly than that, understand the cryptocurrency markets and what they're going to do and understand where the traditional financial system is at. Christine Lagarde, I'm going to come on to the ECB in just a second, had highlighted in her speech towards the People's Bank of China, I reported on it, that we're reaching an inflection point for the monetary systems, and there's going to need to be change like there has been with the Bretton Woods events. Just like with the Nixon shock, there was an issue with what the system was backed by gold. They issued more money than they had to redeem in reserves. There's an issue with the bond market, and I think the world is recognizing this. The geopolitical attention is just sort of promoting sort of perhaps a kind of de-dollarization theory, and crypto just perfectly shows up at this time and is now being embraced by everyone. I mean, it's too good to be true. Bitcoin was released in 2008 when the financial system really broke, and you can see that from all kind of, whether that's debt measures or whatever it may be. And crypto just happens to be extremely well positioned. But the ECB, I mean, this is a post from them literally yesterday also. Lagarde, accelerating progress towards a digital dollar is a key priority. It would help safeguard Europeans' bank-based financial and monetary system by strengthening strategic autonomy and ensuring an innovative and resilient European retail payment system. This is from the European Central Bank literally yesterday, guys. No one's reporting on this yet, and they specifically mentioned XRP specifically. So the Eurosystem's exploratory work on new technologies for wholesale central bank money settlement. It says an executive summary. This second annex to the Europeans or Eurosystem's report on exploratory work on new technologies for wholesale central bank money settlement aims to extensively describe the joint efforts made by market participants, market DLT operators, the Eurosystem, and the other central banks involved by showcasing the trials and experiments that took place during the exploratory work. Financial market stakeholders were invited to take part in the trials. Real transaction settlement settled in central bank money, and experiments, mock transactions settled in test environments in 2 waves. May to November 2024 for wave 1 and July to November 2024 for wave 2. The Eurosystem approved the participation over the 2 waves of a total of 60 stakeholders from the financial sector and 4 central banks. One, of course, the Dutch Central Bank, the Bank of France, and the Bank of Italy. And they essentially enabled a number of use cases. The European Central Bank expressed its gratitude to stakeholders involved for the detailed descriptions of its activities conducted that they provided for the preparation of the annex. Talks about use cases, talks about a number of things. In all bank-related thing, margin calls, intraday trading, overnight trading, repurchase agreements, so the repo markets, primary issuance of bonds and financial by financial institutions, so margin calls, tokenized deposits, settlement of payments related to over-the-counter, interbank, fund shares, secondary market activities, and partial settlements. So everything that banks do, they're exploring DLT sort of use case, if you will. Of course, the Bank of France was one of the main participants in this. They've previously said this about XRP or Ripple. So the Bank of France prefers the features of XRP to issue Europe's central bank digital currency. This is a report by the PCA Australia. notes that France has openly discussed Ripple and XRP as a possible platform to Europeans' central bank digital currency, and they reiterate the preferential features of XRP as Ripple and XRP enjoy the trust of many banks as a model for CBDCs because it is highly centralized and is based on permissionless permission networks where other certain network nodes can validate transactions as opposed to decentralized and permissionless Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ripple was created, or OpenCoin as it started for this, and XRP was always created to do what everyone's going to realize and be using it for in the future. It said Ripple's proposal is an example of how some features of blockchain technology may be incompatible with the pursuit of CBDCs. However, there are configurations of that existing technology which can satisfy and securely satisfy the security and speed required by such projects. So this is old, but fast forward to today. There's also another speech. I mean, I could show you so many links with the kind of Central Bank of France. But fast forward to today, the Central Bank of France are actually working with the ECB on this paper. And actually, if we go down to, we can start on page 11 where this kind of starts. This is one of the examples given. It talks about debt securities. It talks about maturity of debt, so on and so forth. It says the Axology DLT trading and settlement system is a private permissioned infrastructure built using the open source code of the XRP ledger. While Axology benefits from XRP ledger technology, it operates as an independent system designed to streamline trading, settlement, and custody of tokenized assets such as financial securities with enhanced security and efficiency. It goes on to give scenarios of how this can be used and utilized. It says scenario 1, primary issuance of debt securities and settlement on Axology DLT TSS using wholesale CBDCs. Auction results are submitted by the broker agent through their own Node API for distribution. Node creates an escrow wallet per each distribution list entry, adding Axology operators as the only signer on the wallet. Further, we will consider only a single case as it's analogous for each distribution entry. It said Node sends asset amount from issuer operational wallets to create escrow wallet, which uses XRP payment transactions. Transactions contain addresses of the final receiver, i.e. investor wallet, amount to charge them, and amount to transfer to final beneficiary. It says giving cash leg was successful. Operator node receives a notification about escrow wallet payment transaction. Operational or operator node initiates cash leg with details provided in escrow. Wallets incoming payment transactions. Operator receives confirmation of successful payment transactions. Operator transfers amount of assets from escrow wallet to final investor wallet using XRP payment transactions and thus DVP. It talks about scenario 2 in regards to coupons. It talks about obviously target 2. There's links to a number of cryptos in target 2. If we go down to scenario 3 and we fast forward to this bit, it says Node sends amount of assets from end investor wallet to create escrow wallet, which uses XRP payment transactions. The transactions contain the address of the final recipient, i.e. operational wallets amount to charge them, an amount to transfer to final issuer. Operational wallet gives or given cash leg was successful. It then goes on to talk about redemption payments. Number 8 is talking about wallet uses XRP payment transactions. It goes on to mention it a number of times. And I found this interesting because this isn't, a paper that was conducted by anybody or Ripple themselves. This is a paper that's produced or literally released 24 hours ago that was released by the European Central Bank, which we know are on the cusp of adopting blockchain technology. And XRP seems to be all over it. I mean, the writing is simply on the wall when it comes to Ripple and thus XRP. And to sort of close things out on a clip here, I want to remind people what Christine Lagarde had to say in regards to Ripple specifically. They show up everywhere. We're showing the links with the sort of French Central Bank, and now in the ECB paper that was literally published just the other day, and we know they're moving towards this, XRP gets a mention, one of the only cryptos mentioned, I think barring Ethereum in that whole thing, as actually being able to enable all of this and play a key role in it. And I found that absolutely fascinating. So a lot's going on. This video was really broken down into 2 parts. One is the return of Arthur Brito, the notorious Arthur Brito at this point, one of XRP's creators. In fact, the guy that put the code out there to produce or to initiate the 100 billion XRP. He's back with a face that looks like it's constrained from saying anything, but perhaps wants to. And then you've got the European Central Bank, which we know are moving towards wholesale CBDCs and XRP's involvement in all that. How retail is not bullish is beyond me. Let's close things off with this clip of Christine Lagarde, and I'll see you all in the next YouTube video.
The difference will not be between those who are disrupted and those who survive, but it will be between those who are cannibalized because they are not seeing it coming and they're not embracing it, and those who self-induce that cannibalization. And I'm using cannibalization on purpose because it's a bit of a striking, horrible word. But it's really what it means. It's you're going to disrupt your business model, you're going to change it, you're going to reduce your cost, you're going to expedite your transactions, and you're going to continue to inspire confidence because you will build that on the basis of an existing backbone, which is your bank and the confidence relationship that you've established with your customers. So that's where I see changes happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripples and all those, that's where they are active and helpful.